I found myself feeling overwhelmed and weighed down and just full of anxiety. And I've often been told that your home, your car, the way you keep those things is a reflection of your life. And if it's all messy and cluttered, that's the state of your mentality. Good morning, everybody, and I want to welcome you back to the channel. It is a quiet Saturday morning. It's about 7:20, and I decided to drop in today with another video. This is actually a requested video. So one of my followers viewed one of my videos, and I talk a lot about my lifestyle now, being a minimalist, and they asked me to kind of elaborate on why I became a minimalist and how I maintain that. And I thought it was a good topic. It's a good topic because it is an ongoing process, and I'm fairly new to it. I'm probably about 2 years into it now, and it is something that you have to maintain because you know your life can often get cluttered. It first gets cluttered here, and then it manifests within your physical life. So if this is something that you feel that you're interested in, I invite you to keep watching. Well, hello everybody again. Welcome back to the channel. So, guys, I had recorded an entire video for this topic, and guess what? Something happened to my SD card and it corrupted the only file that mattered the most. My intros were fine, but the video was corrupted, so I was not able to recover it. I tried everything, switching the cameras, uploading it to the computers with the SD card. It's corrupted, so I'm having to do this video over. So, and I thought it was really good. Anyway, welcome back. It is now about 9 o'clock. I started this video about 7:20 this morning. Anyway. Welcome back. So I wanted to share, because a viewer had requested this video, why I chose the life of minimalism and how I maintain it. Now, all of the details, I come off cuff, guys. I don't script my videos at all. So I don't know if I'm going to cover everything that I covered. But I actually started out, which I won't go back through, how my childhood had a big effect on me having the desire to have things. We're just going to leave it at that. Because when you grow up with minimal things, I think as time go on, you get older, you become an adult, you start providing for yourself, you learn how to do those things for yourself, and because of the lack of things sometimes in your childhood, you feel that that's what success is. It's acquiring things. So basically, that's where my life was. Just wanting to have things, TV, social media, news streams, promote having things. We see things are beautiful. We want them, we desire them, we feel that we need them. Some things we do, some things we don't. Some things it's more of a want than it is of a necessity. So therefore, we go out, purchase these things, and we feel that that's what life is about. That thing, I believe it brings us status, or we feel that we are successful when we can acquire things, or we've achieved, whatever that might be for you. And so therefore I did that. And as my life got better, as I got older, I was able to get more and more things. Then one day I found myself having an abundance of things and feeling overwhelmed. When my life entered this phase where I was going through a lot of stressful things in life, it reflected in the way that I lived because I had so much stuff. And even your car, it's been said that the way your car is kept, the way your home looks, is a reflection of how you're thinking, where your mind is. So if you have a house that's cluttered, overabundance of things, not organized, it can sometimes reflect where you are in life. And I believe that was the case for me because I had a lot going on in my life. I had a lot of chaos in my life, and therefore my life reflected in the way that I lived. And one day, I think as my life was just spiraling out of control, I got to a point where I just felt like I needed to make a change. I lived in an apartment downtown Memphis in a high rise, and I think that apartment was about 560 square feet. And it wasn't very large. That's not the smallest of small. Some people live in smaller spaces than that. but it was pretty small for the things that I had. And one day I just started feeling overwhelmed. I would come home and I'd be like, oh, all of this stuff everywhere. And sometimes I felt like I didn't have enough room for things, my clothing. And I had a small closet. I had a storage closet in the hallway, but my bedroom closet was very small. And I just felt overwhelmed. And so I decided that I wanted to declutter. And I did a couple of videos about decluttering. And I think I got rid of about 2/3 of my clothing. At one point, I think I had over 200 pairs of shoes. Absolutely. There's a lot of women that has much more than that, but I did. And I think I downsized to maybe about 30. And I think that that's still a lot, but I think that's manageable for, your life. If you, have professional life, you have a social life or active life. I think 30 pairs of shoes, whether it's sneakers, formal shoes, casual shoes, is pretty comfortable amount. Some people may say, girl, you don't need that. But I'm just saying, I think coming from 200 down to 30 is a significant difference. And so that felt pretty good. And I donated most of those things. I think I did sell a couple things in my building when it came to like furniture and things like that. But for the most part, I just donated things. And it felt good to be able to give things to people who needed it. I think a lot of times we feel that we are losing things by giving away because we make an investment when we purchase them. So therefore, if we just decide to give them away, we feel as if we're throwing away money. And I get that because sometimes things are very costly and we just give them away and we feel like, oh my God, I'm just throwing away money. So I see the significant need, especially if it's an expensive item, to feel the need to perhaps sell that. But for me, a lot of things I had from a number of years. I had gotten my use out of it, and I felt like as long as it's of good quality, because I would never give anything away, I feel that I wouldn't want to use myself, and someone that's in need could use those things. So I did a whole video where I went to the Goodwill multiple times, getting rid of things. Another way that you can get rid of things is have a yard sale, go to consignment shops, and they will give you a little bit of money for them. So if you just feel like you can't part with things without making money off of those options for you. But for me, I felt it was more necessary to give things to people who may be able to use them in their home. So I did that with all my furniture and a lot of my dishes because I really didn't know what I was going to do. At the time that I came home, there was another plan. There was a plan that my sister and I had, and that did not unfold. I found myself having to find myself a place again. So when that happened, I was like, only thing I had was my bedroom. That was the only thing I kept furniture-wise. So I decided that this time around that I would not clutter my home, that I would only get practical things, meaning things that were useful, things that I need. So that's what I did. So I did a whole video about my home. I'm going to insert clips of pieces that I purchased. I think I did not insert my desk, but I did get a desk for my desktop computer that I put together. I put together multiple things in my home. And that's how I did that. And I think I will insert a clip also of my kitchen. And I felt good being able to put these practical things together. They weren't the extravagant things. They were practical. They were inexpensive. And I spent, I think, less than $1,000 putting my entire house back together. And I felt very good in doing that. I went to thrift stores. I went to dollar stores, and it was fun. I felt very good about doing that. And I feel my house is not cluttered. I feel that I can breathe. It feels open, and I feel that I can think. And those things were important to me. I think as you age, you start understanding that it's not so much about the things that you own versus the experiences that you gain and the love that you share with family and friends. And I know a lot of times people still like to have beautiful things around them. For me, it's not so much about the beauty as it is about practicality. And are these things useful? Is this something that I can have that will fulfill the need? And that's it for me, because my life more so now is about these adventures and experiences and memories that I'm creating. And so that is the why for me. And just feeling like I threw away a lot of money that I could have invested in other things. One of the things I think that has prevented me from being able to early retire is because I accumulated a lot of debt, because I do have several credit cards that I used to do things with because I had a business, and I was one time flipping houses, and I just accumulated a lot of debt. So I dedicated my life to paying down this debt so that I can have this life that I want. I feel like I created this debt. I need to pay this debt. Then I had girls that went to college that I invested in. And it was a lot, guys. It was a lot. So that's one of the things that kind of got me to thinking about, okay, how do I create this life and do this semi-retirement or full retirement before the retirement age? So it was necessary for me to create a budget and to say, hey, you got to not spend, you got to be able to save this money. And that was part of the reason as well. So how do I maintain it? I maintain it by not spending. I look at my things that I have and I replace them as they are worn, tattered, or no longer useful. And buying things that are able to span time. That means that they don't go out of style, that they are seasoned things that are of good quality. That's what a lot of people do. They have functionality where they can be paired with other things that will be in season regardless of the time, whether it's 2 years from now, 5 years from now, from 10 years from now. They don't go out of style. And that's important to be able to do that for me. And I just don't need a lot of things. And I maintain that by making sure that I keep, an eye on the things that I bring into my home. One of the things that we do is through the mail and flyers and magazines and things that come to your home, not allowing that stuff to clutter. It used to be a time that I would just throw paper bills into a basket or flyers into a basket. And then you look up and you got all these baskets of paper. I pay all my bills online, so therefore I set them up online so that would eliminate the need for them to mail those things to me. And so that cut down on the things that I receive in the mail. That way I'm not piling up papers. I had baskets of old bills or old flyers or just statements from like your bank and things like that I just toss and be like, okay, I'm gonna look at that later. And I never did. And that creates clutter in your home. And then when you go to clean out, I got all this closet of baskets of paper and things like that. Not allowing that stuff to accumulate in your home. And that's important. Making sure that the things that I do get are quality. I had a friend who built this table that you will see in the video. And it's very sturdy and it's durable and it can stand the test of time and weather. When my kids are over here playing, I don't have to worry about, is this fragile? Is this going to get broken? The things I have, they are sturdy and that, I know will last a while. This sofa that I put together, which is a modular sofa, I put it completely together and it's gray. So guess what that can do? It can handle children and spills. And, and if it does get dirty, you can take it and, wipe it. And if it's not completely clean, as if you would have like a lighter sofa, it won't show as bad. So having things that can be durable, that can stand, rough times and weather, that's important for me. That way I don't have to go out and purchase another one, and I like clean lines and open spaces. I feel that you can breathe, the air is purer. So therefore I keep count of that. I don't allow things to just build up on my tables and that's how I keep it. That's how I maintain it. And I feel that if I need to purchase something, especially when it comes to something I need to wear, I always manage to make sure I get rid of something before I bring something back in. Meaning I'm not going to go out and buy something without giving something away. So there are times when you'll need things like your underwear. You'll have to replace that. And that's understandable because things get old and worn and torn, and so you have to replace it. But I'm not going out just buying an abundance of things. If I know that I have something at home, I'm not going to buy 2 or 3 of those. Like I got 3 pairs of black shoes. Why do I need 4? If I have 2 pumps or stilettos, I don't need 3. So, those are things that I do to maintain. Is this something I assess it. Is this something I need, or is this something that I just want? And that may not be your journey, but the question was asked, how do I maintain it? And I keep account of, in my mind, is this a need? That's the question I ask myself. Or do it's just something that I think is beautiful and something that I want? And that helps me to decide when I'm out there, because I'm a woman. I'm a girly girl. I like what I like. I like beautiful things. I like beautiful clothing. But I now buy things that I feel that will continue to come back out. It'll always be seasonal. And I think that's important to do. You can't go wrong with blazers and skirts if you're in the professional world. And you could just pair it with different color blouses. So you have to think outside the box of, how can I keep this on trend? Instead of feeling like you got to get the next thing that come out the next seasons. A lot of older people do that. They just buy quality pieces that they can mix and match. And that's important for me, so that I can always be, in style. That's important. You want to look good. And that's important. I also just make sure that I'm just not always looking through magazines and desiring to want things. I also have told my family that I'm not big on shopping. So therefore, for holidays and birthdays and things like that, I try to create experiences. Like, I'll have a family game time. I'm not going to go out and just buy a bunch of things anymore. That's how I manage my life, and making sure that I know what I have. I have 2 bedrooms now, whereas I lived in Memphis, I had 1. So in one closet, I have my summer clothes. In the other closet, I have my winter clothes. Therefore, I don't have to go through all of my clothing. When I was in Memphis, I had summer. I only had that one closet. So I had summer and winter clothing in one closet. Therefore, I'm always trying to find something. And when I couldn't find it, I would go buy it. And guess what would happen? Then I would run across it. I mean, like, man, I did have a jean skirt, and I just couldn't find it because it was behind things. So if I keep one season of clothing in one area and the other season in another, I can always find what I need. Therefore, I don't have to feel the need to run out and purchase it. So that helps me. And, it's about choices, really. For me, as I get older, I just don't need a lot. I think sometimes we feel we need more than what we really need. Most of it is a desire. Most of it is a want. And that's okay. But this video is targeted to people who are thinking about downsizing and minimalizing and wanting a simple life. This is who this video is for. So if anyone is watching this that is not a minimalist, who not desire to be a minimalist, this is not for you. It's for people who have that desire to live a practical life. My videos are practical. My life is practical. Everything you see here is a representation of who I am. My hairstyle is practical. I did all of these things because I desired to have a simple life and to be able to do things that are big and grand, like travel. That is where my desire comes from, to create that big life for me. If I want to experience something that is extravagant, like stay in a luxury hotel, then I can pour my money into that, because I don't have to worry about the fact that, I got this bill to pay and that bill to pay. My car I've had for 12 years. 12 years, going into 13. And it runs very well. It hasn't been abused. It was parked for like 7.5 years without me driving much, because I walked everywhere, living in the downtown area. And so therefore it's maintained its look. My body is no dings and, a couple scratches, from car doors hitting it, but I haven't had any wrecks where it's been, messed up and dented. So therefore I keep it. I make sure that I change my oil and keep the filters changed so that it will run good. And I know one day it's going to get old and it's going to stop running, but I felt the need not to go out and just purchase the next thing I wanted. I had a car that was gas efficient, and so therefore it helps me to save on gas in this high time of inflation. And I like other cars. I would, if I had my luxury car, it would be a Range Rover. And there's a medium car, I guess medium size, I guess you would say practical vehicle, by Subaru that I like. It's a Crosstrek or an Outback because it's a 4-wheel drive. I think it will be good for traveling. But I suppress the urge to purchase that car right now. It may come a time when I need to do that, and I'll be in a position where it won't be a burden for me financially. So if my car is running, is it getting me to point A and point B? That's how I look at my mind, and I listen to myself and I say, is this a need? If it's a need, why do I need it? And if I already have it, it's a want. Because the car I have does everything that brand new car would do. And so I think that's what it comes down to, is making a list of, is this a need or is this a want? And if it's a want and you want it, that's fine. But if you're trying to decide on how to figure out this practical life, you have to make these lists of, this is something I need right now, or is this just something I want? And then go with what's the correct thing. If it's a want, let it just ride for a while and continue on with the need, especially if you already have it. See, most of the things we already have, we just want. The Christmas tree that I will be putting up again this season will be my 3rd year. Everybody's buying new trees and doing new things with their trees. I'm going to have the same tree in this corner with the same ornaments, because guess what? It's going to serve the same purpose that it has served for the last 2 years. So if I went out to buy another tree, that would be a want because I already have it. So that is how I maintain my minimalistic life. It's not feeling the need to keep up, suppressing the urge to spend money, and using the things that I have. Everything I have in my home is something I use. A lot of times people can look around their home and say, I haven't used that in a while. That hasn't been turned on, or why do I have that? I don't even use it. It's dusty. If you look around your home and the things you have in your home are things most times are packed away that you haven't seen yourself in years, why is it still there? Is it a need, or is it a want? Is it sentimental, or is it just something you can't let go of? I think the older you get, it becomes more clear. And I will tell you this, it did cause me to assess those things in my mind, and I have been freer. I have been lighter and happier since I downsized. No, my house is not the most attractive. You're not going to come in here and be like, "Ooh, girl, it's cute in here." You may not. But what you'll come in here and say is, it's organized, it's practical, and useful. And I think that's the best way to describe my home. So that is why I chose the minimal life. And I'm going to continue this. I love it. I think that, as I age, I was like, when I move and retire, y'all know I want to live near the beach. I would like to have like a little bungalow, or maybe like a small condo, 1 bedroom, maybe 2 if it's affordable, and just have practical things in there. I like sitting on the floor, have pillows around my table. I like just being able to relax and, just have clean flowing things in here. I like white and grays and browns, neutral colors. It's just comfortable. It's warm and inviting. So that's it. This is not all that was in the other video. I had more, I think I said in the other video, but I could do a follow-up. If you have questions, drop them below, and I'll be sure to answer them in the comments. And if you're thinking about it, I would say go for it. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Don't feel that you look a certain way because you change your lifestyle. It's not about the look. It's not an indication of what you have. I'm very comfortable. I have a job that pays me a decent salary, and I can get what I want. But it wasn't important that I have to show that off everywhere. And I'm not saying that people are doing that, but for me, it was just important for me to live my life the best way that suits me. And this makes me feel good. When I come home, I don't feel overwhelmed and I got to come home and clean all these things up. I can do it. I can clean my home up in an hour. So that's important to me. So thank you all for watching today. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. Subscribe if you have not. Come back again and check me out. And I love to have you. This is a lifestyle for women who are navigating middle age, whether you're over 50 or 60 and beyond. And we're living our best life, designing our life. And that's what it's about. So thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see you soon.